It was supposed to be a 10-hour journey to see the Titanic shipwreck, but it ended in tragedy. After a 4-day search for the Titan submersible, the US Navy came to the conclusion that the vessel in all likelihood had a catastrophic implosion and killed all 5 people on board. Search teams found debris from the missing submersible, confirming the world's worst fears. An underwater implosion happens when the vessel suddenly collapses in on itself because of immense pressure at the depths it is diving towards. Just to put things in perspective, the Titanic wreck sits nearly 13,000 feet below sea level. The submersible was just about 1 hour 45 minutes into the 2-hour descent when it lost contact on the 18th of June. The submersible was equipped with only 96 hours of oxygen, which meant that the 22nd of June was the deadline to locate and retrieve the submersible. But by then, authorities confirmed that the submersible had imploded and a debris field was found. According to experts, a catastrophic implosion is incredibly quick. It happens within a fraction of a millisecond, which means that death will almost be instantaneous.
The only saving grace about that is that it would have been immediate, literally in milliseconds, and the men would have had no idea what was happening.
On board was British businessman and adventurer Hamish Harding. The 58-year-old held several Guinness records, including being the fastest man to circumvent the Earth by plane in just 48 hours. Harding also was one of the 6 people on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin mission, which flew to the edge of space last year. Prominent Pakistani businessman Shehzada Dawood and his 18-year-old son Suleiman were also on board. They lived in London, and according to their family, Suleiman was terrified about the trip in the submersible but wanted to please his father. Also on board was Paul Henry Nargolet, a former French Navy diver. He was nicknamed Mr. Titanic because he spent more time at the wreck than any other explorer and was part of the first expedition to visit it in 1987. The 5th and last person on the submersible was the pilot, Stockton Rush, who was also the CEO of OceanGate, the company taking passengers to see the Titanic wreckage. Rush founded the company in 2009, offering customers a chance to experience deep-sea travel. Then in 2021, OceanGate began offering trips to the site of the Titanic wreck, all for the hefty price of $250,000 per person. But Rush defended his business model and said the ticket price was a fraction of the cost of going to space. But was the experience worth the risk?
Everybody was nervous. Could we reach the bottom or have we returned? Because some dives before, they got problems with the battery systems by 1,600 meters. They have to go back, and that was the last possibility in 2021 to make this dive. And when we got down, it was very nervous. Then after 2.5 hours, we reached the bottom. The feeling becomes better, and we saw on the maps that we are maybe 20 minutes to 200 meters, 600 feet away from the ship, from the Titanic. And 20 minutes later, we saw the wreck in front of us, in front of the glasses and in front of our cameras.
Now it comes to light that OceanGate was the target of complaints made by a former employee in 2019 over the safety of the vessel's hull. According to reports, OceanGate fired employee David Lockridge after he expressed concern about the submersible's safety. The company went on to sue him, claiming Lockridge had breached his employment contract by disclosing confidential information. Lockridge alleged that he had raised concerns about the safety of the Titan and advised OceanGate to conduct more testing of the vessel's hull in order to ensure that it could withstand the rigors of deep-sea exploration. He also objected to OceanGate's decision to perform dives without non-destructive testing to prove its integrity.
One of the risks that the community takes every time it operates is that if there is some sort of catastrophic failure, the general public will backlash against the entire community and basically say that it shouldn't occur. But just like with space exploration, the best way to preserve the memories and the legacies of these 5 explorers is to conduct an investigation, find out what went wrong, take lessons learned, and then move forward.
So were the risks ignored to lure wealthy customers with the thrill of adventure?